Miles, News Radio 840 WH.
All right, Mr. Miles, when you get a minute, you can stop by here. We're having a taste this afternoon because Russ Smith is here with his incredible products, Mr. and Mrs. Bourbons. Russ, we were talking a few minutes ago. It was great to have you back on a radio station.
Yes, sir.
I was thinking you were going to be a media guy by this time, but you got skills in this area.
I always thought about doing it, but I didn't want to jump into it while I'm still playing.
Well, I got you.
Yes, I know it's a pretty tough job. So.
But it's there for you. You're great at it. So it's there for you once you decide, you want to do that. This bourbon is what you're really working on outside of your basketball. So tell me how you got into this.
So growing up in New York, New York is an entertainment space, nightlife space, and our, I guess you could say, influencers in the liquor industry is different. We have guys like Jay-Z, Diddy, and 50 Cent. So after leaving New York, coming to Kentucky, playing for U of L, having a great college experience, I was taking shooters and tequilas and vodkas my whole time in college. And when I graduated school, I met a lot of guys that, didn't drink that stuff. They were drinking bourbon, and they were always talking to me, and they were all nice. But one thing that never happened was I never blacked out on bourbon. And I can hold a combo, I can sip the same cup. and then I got really interested into the space, into the spirit, because coming from New York, it's never bourbon, it's never whiskey. So from there, as you can imagine, I met a lot of people within the industry, got to know a lot of people. They were teaching me the ways, and here you go, 7-8 years later, have my own company and 8 different labels.
You could be a distiller. I mean, you've learned it. You're getting enough education about this, how this product is made, where you can come up with your own flavors. And
absolutely. I think with my knowledge of mash bills and all that, I think once I get more educated on the chemistry part behind making the spirits, there's no reason why I can't be distilling and doing my own products.
You're kicking off your bourbon tour for Mr. and Mrs. Bourbon, and now I understand there are more labels introduced today?
Yes, so today we're going to Springhurst, and this will be the first location that will be introing the 3 labels with me making an appearance and signing it. We got the rye oak tree, and then we have our white oak tree, which is a foolproof weeded product, and then we have our 126 single barrel special select rye.
Oh, wow.
And that one is a brown sugar bomb. And then after we intro those at Springhurst, on Tuesday we'll be at Outer Loop, and then Wednesday we'll be at the Liquor Barn in Middletown.
Yeah, I see that. You're gonna make appearances in Bowling Green, Owensboro, Elizabethtown, all coming up, and this is great. So people can find this. The website is MrandMrsBourbon.com. Just look under the events page, you can see each one. And then, so you're going to be like 7:30 to 10, it says tonight on this. So you're going to spend a lot of hours in stores over the next.
Yeah, so you come out, and the way I got it set up is, first and foremost, I want to explain to everybody, all the questions that they may have. How did you get started? What brought you into this? Why are you doing this? All the main points. And then I'm pretty sure there's going to be some fans of Russ Diculous, so I'm making a slot of answering any Cardinal-related questions, any sports-related questions. Go ahead, you can get it out, and then after we knock that out, I'll be talking about the business side of it and what I do day to day in the dry, wet, and supply chain department. And then after that, we'll be talking about the 8 different labels and what separates them, and then we start the signing.
Is Rusticulous a name that you categorize as a certain era of your life, or is it okay if someone uses that expression today?
They just do, because I think I think it just comes with it. Like they correlate Rusticulous with, I guess, fun, horses, a great time, and I can't stop people from calling me that. But I'm just like, I just go with it, man.
I forgot what a fashion plate you were. I have a photo of my wife and me with you at some derby party, and you were the best dressed person in the building.
Really?
Yeah.
That's nice of you, Terry. Because I looked around and there were some fabulous dressed people there, so I didn't know where I fit in.
No, I think it's one of the Ferdinand's balls. That's where you were, one of those Derby, like Thursday night of Derby week. Because we saw you multiple times at various things. It's like every night, there's Russ, got a full new layout.
Yeah, I definitely do gotta do something each event. I think that's a pretty good time.
All right, you have 8 different types now of Mr. and Mrs. Bourbon. And I noticed on one of them, there is a drawing, an artist drawing of you.
Yes.
That is fantastic.
I thought it would be cool if I can kind of make part of the brand more legacy, because you're the only one that gets to tell your story, right?
That's right.
And in basketball, there's a lot of, for me, there's a lot of distractions, but there's great distractions. You have LeBron James, you have Curry, and you have even Christian Laettner's buzzer shot. You have everything. There's a lot of distractions, but and 100 years from now, I still want to be able to have my story told in different industries. So I thought that the first face labels that I introduced would be dedicated to me personally and my stories and the people who follow me my whole life. So each label has a different story on it. On my face label, I have 4, and then the oak tree labels are something that people outside of myself can correlate with and have some similarities with.
It tells a bit of your story on the side of this bottle, but this drawing of you is outstanding, and it's encircled with these words: distilled with positivity in Kentucky.
Yes.
That's kind of your mantra of life, isn't it?
You gotta keep it positive all the time.
You always do. I follow you on social media. I know you do.
Yeah, always.
You find really interesting things too in social media.
Mm-hmm.
How much time do you spend with that a day? Is that just a distraction for a few minutes?
The Twitter's turned into my Wall Street Journal. I can do anything on there. I can find nature. I can find conspiracy theories. I can find history, and I'm just going through the source and figuring out what I want to read and go to which rabbit hole I want to go down.
Yeah, your mind is just like your game. It's lightning fast, and you're jumping and finding and
instinctively just switching.
That's fantastic, though, that you can multitask like that in so many ways. As you know, in this bourbon industry and distilled spirits and alcohol in general, a lot of times people want to come and buy your company away from you.
Right.
Don't you want to spend a little time with us before somebody raps on the door and says, "Hey,
yeah,
give it to us, Russ"?
I love what I'm doing, and I love what we're doing. Like my partners and I, and we're having fun with this. We'll be accepted into Maryland maybe by the end of August. New York called, and that's where I'm from. So that's gonna be once that happens. People will see like, oh wow, like this guy, is really, he knows what he's doing. And there's more places we're getting into. So honestly, if somebody wants to come in, I think it's a good time to be my friend now.
You bet. Do you like taking those meetings with those folks when they say, and you need to go and explain to them your story, and it's somebody at some boardroom table? That seems like an ideal location for Russ Smith to walk in and tell him.
Yeah, because it's no fabrication, and a lot of times I feel like a lot of people aren't their true selves when they're talking to people maybe across the table or in the same room. I'm the same person. Every distribution meeting I take, every dry supply meeting I take, every corporate meeting I take, I'm always the same person, and it's all authentic. And it turned out it really goes well for me. I'm not trying to cut any corners, and I also try to use what I've learned from basketball and try to apply it, the teamwork sense and the camaraderie sense into this industry and working with others.
You look like a fashion model too. What about the beard? Is this part of the business look?
I think I gotta keep it. I have a beard on the label, so I think I gotta keep it forever now. We'll see if it turns. We'll see if it turns gray. That'll be. I'll have to make a decision on dyeing it back black or cutting it.
I got news for you. That's going to happen eventually, but you're still young. Well, I want to get a taste of this. Is that all right? You got one open?
Yes, we're right here.
All right. Let's pour a couple of them, and we'll see if our news guy will come share. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Russ is actually pouring for us here.
Yeah, we're gonna pour up.
That's mighty nice.
We're gonna pour up.
That's mighty fine. Okay, good. I'll have to clink myself because the news guy's not in here yet. But thank you for that. That's right. Okay, which one are we doing here?
So we're doing the our 90 proof rye. So I like all my products sweet. I like it floral. I like it approachable. And like a rye, I was telling you earlier, ryes are normally strong, robust, peppery, spicy, and this rye is definitely not that.
It smells great.
It's delicious.
Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
That is perfecto.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for that, Russ. Appreciate that. Best of luck. You can meet Russ Smith tonight in Springhurst at 7:30. It's at the Liquor Barn store there, and then you've actually got a bunch of liquor barns on this bourbon tour throughout the summer. The full list is on the website, mrandmrsbourbon.com, and we're talking about the same time window every evening, aren't we, Russ?
Yes,
like
sir.
7:30.
Mm-hmm.
Liquor Barn, Springhurst tonight, Outer Loop tomorrow night, Shelbyville Road on Wednesday. Boy, you're working every night. I'm looking for a break in this, but
No days off, man.
no, this is like basketball.
Yeah, like basketball, no days off.
I'm going right down the list here. You don't get a break till July 2nd?
Mm-hmm.
Impressive.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have a nice party on July 2nd.
I would say so.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I have to.
That's the thing. That's one of the reasons people love you. You're loyal to this city, and you're just relentless in terms of the way you play the game, the way you are with people. And I think people really respect that deeply.
I mean, for me, I feel like basketball is my passion, and then once I jump into another passion, it's like the quote, "How you do anything is how you do everything." So, like I said, I'm just trying to apply the stuff I learned from hoops into a new industry, and it's quite frankly not new to me. I've been in this industry for 7 years,
Mm-hmm.
so just trying to keep being consistent.
That drive, though, came long before hoops.
Oh, absolutely.
You're a baby.
Absolutely.
And you mirrored and mimicked things you saw, and you've just been a whirling dervish, just constant drive your whole life.
Absolutely.
I can't imagine a slowed down rusty kid.
It's happening. It's happening. I feel it.
What's the next thing in hoops? You mentioned all those countries where you've been.
Yeah, so honestly, the next thing in hoops, we have the we're getting the gangs, part of the gang back together. Myself, Peyton, Wayne, Shane, and then we got a couple other guys that are coming back from overseas. So Nanu, my buddy Rakeem, Avar, Chris Dow, we're all playing in the TBT tournament.
Love this.
July 25th. That's gonna be fun, man, and we just can't wait to get back out there. We're going to Freedom Hall.
How soon do you find out your first opponent in that?
They did the announcement today in the brackets.
So that'll be released?
Yeah,
soon?
so
Okay.
we they gave us a 2 seed. I don't know if that's too high. I don't know if that's too low. Right? So we'll see. We'll see.
But is it a 2 seed as in you're playing a 15?
No, we're playing a 7 seed. So I think
Okay, so there's 8 in there.
Yeah.
There's 8 in there, so you're playing the 7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I mean, everybody's delighted that this TBT, U of L's got an entrant in this thing, and obviously we know you're playing for $1 million, but it's also about the camaraderie and being a part of staying close to the program.
Yeah, and that's the big thing, that one of the reasons why I decided to play, because you don't know when one day can be your last day playing with some of the guys that you won with, and I think it's just dope. We get to go out there and just hoop, and nostalgia wise, people will be able to watch us play at Freedom Hall, and for our guys, we're playing together again. But then again, also, you're playing for $1 million. The teams on the other side are really, really good. So we just have to be ready and give it our all, so we can compete.
Well, people are looking forward to that. That's next month,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to have a fun ride between now and then with everybody getting out to see you at the stores.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. Well, we're everywhere, man. So yeah, they have the links and they're able to find us. We're definitely going to be traveling all corners of Kentucky.
All right. Best of luck in the TBT and obviously continued success with Mr. and Mrs. Bourbon. That's the website, mrandmrsbourbon.com. Get the full event schedule of Russ Smith's Bourbon Tour this summer. We will see you again soon, down the road soon. Russ Smith. All right, we're back in a few on News Radio 840 WHAS.
From the Isaacs and Isaacs WeWin.com
That was
Traffic Center.
fantastic.
Nice.
That's great, guys. That was awesome.
Nice.
Very good.
That was good.
Very smooth.